Peace. This may not be the brightest idea, so I did not get the videos I recorded yesterday off my phone, but we are back doing more reviews, book reviews. It's another 5-star review from Jeff DeMarco. I know who wrote it, but it says Jeff. I do not remember what the review says. I literally just read it. I think once I get these to the computer or something, I'll make like the review the thumbnail or something. I'll find a way to like put the review in there so you can see it before I start talking. But basically, 5-star review, very well thought out, imaginative, doesn't disappoint, those kind of things. I want to talk more about how to give a review and just kind of like the out loud talk versus the private talk. So publicly, he gave me a 5-star review. A bit of a background on who Jeff DeMarco is versus the other two reviewers. Rick Hardesky is a fellow author. The person that left the 1-star review has no talent whatsoever. Jeff DeMarco is actually a professional editor. Have a wonderful day. You're very beautiful. So, a professional editor gave me a 5-star review. In private, he told me that the story needs a bit more organization. Now, he read a 200,000 word book in like a week. So it obviously wasn't bad. It obviously was not a lack of entertaining book. Sorry, it's getting cold out here. My son was sick for like over a week. And guess who took care of him? The one who works from home. That's who took care of him for over a week. So if he got sick, I probably got a little son. The little nephew is sick too. So excuse me if I'm coughing a little bit today. So I took the feedback that he gave me. So I couldn't afford his editing. You know, I can't afford an editor, period. Because look, I'm not going to get lost in a tangent. I'm going to stay focused. But I took all the feedback he gave me. And what he did was that he gave me publicly a very good review. And privately, he gave me the harsh criticism. And honestly, it wasn't really all that harsh. You know, I feel like if you want to get better at something, everything is feedback. If you want to improve in your skills, everything is growth. But if not, then everything is criticism, everything is negative, and I wouldn't be doing this if I genuinely truly felt that way. It was a labor of love. This book, For the Crown of Nadia, it wasn't my first book. It was the first book I wanted to write, but it was this type of thing in which I had the story written out, like a few stories I have now, but I knew it wasn't done. It was finished, but it was not done, you know? So maybe I'll give you like a 2-for-1 special here. And I'll give you another negative review in addition to this positive review. Because the positive review was constructive and helpful. The negative review was not. So this book actually got a 2-star review from Sandy Khan or something of that nature. I don't exactly remember the name. I think that's accurate. I think that's the name. Because the book did not... The paperback book cost $20, and the ebook was not currently available. Why is that? When I published this book, I had published with Ingram Spark for the first time ever. I did not realize Ingram Spark ain't Amazon. It ain't Amazon. It isn't. And because it ain't Amazon, you know, Ingram Spark took longer because you actually have people like reviewing the work, checking it out, ensuring that it's quality versus just you. You know, there's actually someone reviewing it versus Amazon that you review it yourself inside of the print previewer, and then after you review it inside the print previewer, it's published. So if it was a terrible book, it was a terrible book, and it is published now. If it was a great book, it was a great book, and it's published now. Amazon doesn't really add too much to that process. The entire process of getting the book onto Ingram Spark, and not just getting the book on Ingram Spark, but I completely ruined my formatting and everything with that. You know, instead of doing a paperback book, I did case laminate, which is hardcover for those who don't know. And that was an entirely different process. I paid someone to have the cover made. That was a good idea to an extent. I still work with that graphic designer to this very day. But it was not for a hardcover book. Instead, it was simply just a paperback book. So I got a 2-star review for that. I did an ebook as well. I paid $50 to have both. So I paid $50 for a 2-star review. And then because I got the 2-star review, because I do take these very seriously, I went on to Amazon KDP as soon as I saw the 2-star review, because the paperback or the hardcover book came out before the ebook did. And then I published the book through Amazon so that the ebook would be available. This did not get rid of the 2-star review. This really was extremely confusing, and it caused a lot of tension and a lot of problems between me and Ingram Spark, which have still not been resolved to this day, but did dramatically change. I believe it dramatically changed because I raised hell about it. The way that Ingram Spark conducts its business now it's free to publish an Ingram Spark. It is not free to revise your book or to change anything about your book, but it's at least free now to publish ebooks or paperback books or hardcover books on Ingram Spark. It's still going to cost you for the IBSN and the copywriting phase, but it cost me a lot of fucking money back in the day, 2021. I say back in the day, it was only a couple of years ago. It feels like forever. It might have been 2020. I think it was like December 2020 or something. I don't exactly remember, to be honest with you. But the book's been out for a little while now. You know? And it was a really frustrating experience, because it was my first time ever getting a negative review. It was my first time ever dealing with that criticism. And then shortly after, you know, the person gave me a 2-star review because they were disappointed that they couldn't buy an ebook, instead of simply just waiting another day and seeing whether or not it came out an ebook, which is literally what happened. They left a 2-star review. A day or two later, you know, the ebook came out. They did not contact me directly. They did not go to like a social media page or Twitter or anything and ask questions. There was no further inquiry. There were no second chances. There's no chance to explain. They just wanted to give it a 2-star review. And I feel like a lot of the times that you're going to get negative feedback on something, you're not necessarily getting negative feedback because the issues that this person has with you are real. You know, the varying degree to which they're accurate inside of their criticism of you, you know, it might be like a valid 5 out of 10. They might have like a valid 5 out of 10 criticism for you, which I guess would be like a 2.5 out of 5. So it should have been a 3-star review, but whatever. So whatever, who cares? You know, it's supposed to round up at 5, not down. But whatever, we can't all pass math. But due to that person, I don't want to like say they have a personal issue with you necessarily. I would rather put it that some people are predisposed to negativity, and some people are predisposed to cruelty, and the two things just kind of blend together very well. So when people are given the opportunity to give their feedback, to give their perspective or something of that nature, it's probably going to be the harshest form of criticism that they can muster and imagine to give you, because they are a fucked up human being and just an overall shitty individual, you know? And since not everyone reads, a lot of great, good-hearted people are not going to be the ones that pick up your book. It's going to be a lot of pretentious people. It's going to be a lot of snobby people. It's going to be a lot of people with their heads up their ass that get off on negative feedback, that give off on negative criticism, that get off on making other people's lives harder than they need to be. So they might have a 5 out of 10 with you, and you should definitely, like I did, I took the feedback, I took the criticism. The book is available on Ingram Spark. The book is available on KDP. I had to use about 3 or 4 IBSNs, which is very fucking expensive. If you did not know that, they were very fucking pricey. To respond to it, this was the most expensive review I've ever gotten. And I don't respond to the negative feedback anymore. This was the first negative feedback I got. And I felt like it had nothing to actually do with my writing, nothing to actually do with my book, nothing to actually do with me at all as a person. It was literally simply because they could not wait for the ebook to come out, and they did not want to communicate or ask any form of questions before leaving that review. They just wanted to leave a negative fucking review to let you know how they felt about it, because they didn't have $20. So instead of supporting the author, they left a 2-star review. You know, that's just the reality. A lot of these people don't give a fuck about you. You know, it's coming down literally, there's a rat right there. It's coming down literally between a $2 difference in price, a 99-cent difference in price, someone being a little bit more popular than you. You know, once you get your true fans like Jeff DeMarco, people that are willing at least to become your true fans, then you can make some real progress, you can make some real sales, and you replicate that over and over again, you can become a bestseller. You get a lot of reviews, like a lot of famous people do. I just saw a rat, so I'm gonna get the fuck away from this area now. All that glitters ain't gold, baby. Yeah. So I took Jeff's perspective. I fixed everything. I took the 2-star reviews perspective. I fixed everything. I cursed and I screamed and I yelled at first, I'll tell you that. And I stopped doing that to some extent. I can't tell you that I've had healthier responses to negative reviews. There's one negative review I kind of want to get to, but I kind of like really don't. I really don't want to give this person any more attention, especially since like I already forgave them. I already kind of put it out of my mind, and I already made peace with the situation. It's still something that I have to like address for other people to learn from and gain perspective from. So I will like spend a couple minutes talking about For the Crown of Nadia. All I really want to say, there's other reviews for this book, so I think I actually might like explain the book inside of another video. All I will really say about it is that this story was my magnum opus. You know, this in youth, what became Boyhood 2023, not the original version of Boyhood that was penned and published. Those 3 books in succession are like 3 must-reads, I would say. Boyhood, then Youth, and then For the Crown of Nadia. Maybe Boyhood, Youth, New Girl, and then For the Crown of Nadia. And if you read those 4 books, you would never want to read another book again. But I would also say that if your head is kind of up your ass and you have like major pride issues and you're a huge prude and a huge snob, you know, you're honestly probably looking for any excuse possible to leave a negative review. You're probably looking for any excuse possible to stop reading so you can pick up a new book. And all it really kind of seems to me, so I see women do this, I don't see men do this at all. You know, if a guy doesn't like it, he's just going to put the book down, he's not going to talk about it anymore. A woman wants you to like know how the fuck she feels. And it's women without any discernible talents It's women without like any form of like way to critique what they do, because they don't do anything. They do nothing. Not every woman in the world, that's not the point of what I'm saying. I'm talking specifically about the women that give my books negative reviews. Some people just want any excuse to put your book down. That's why people they're so obsessed with like that first page bullshit. Is like, and it's like it's easy to use that as an insult against yourself. It's easy to use that as a mark against yourself. But in reality, as much as it has to do with you, as much as it really does affect you, as much as it is a part of your life, you know, sometimes people are going to give you a way better review than you deserve, like Jeff does, because they don't want to hurt your feelings and they don't want to hurt your career. Sometimes people are going to give you a review where they shouldn't have given a review at all, simply because their heads are so far up their ass. They just need the world to hear the fucking opinion. Even if you don't really give a fuck about it, even if they're completely wrong, they still want to be heard. And both of these are very important parts of the process, because you have to learn to take the negative feedback with a grain of salt. And, you know, you still got to chew on it. You still got to bite and digest that morsel, because regardless of how you feel about that person's opinion, they still are completely 1000% entitled to their opinion of you. They are still 100 million% entitled to give you feedback. And if you just don't want the feedback because it wasn't positive, that's your fault. That's not their fault. You know, you got to learn how to accept the criticism. You got to learn how to accept the feedback. And on the other note, you got to learn how to take the positive feedback. Like I said, and I'm not faulting Jeff for this. I'm very grateful for Jeff. I'm really happy that he even read the book, and he actually read it. He actually finished it, and he loved it, you know? But you still have to take the positive feedback with a grain of sugar. You don't hear that saying too often, but you have to take the positive feedback with a grain of sugar, because, you know, someone might think way more highly of you than you deserve. And they might publicly sing your praises and give you great feedback, and then behind closed doors, okay, let me talk to you for real now. You know? You should find a way in which you can treat all feedback the same. And the only way that I found to do that healthily, not the only way, not that there's a lot of ways that I've dealt with negative reviews. There's a lot of ways I dealt with positive reviews. Some people have given me a 5-star review. I bought them a free fucking book. Some people gave me a 4-star review that was honest. I got them a free fucking book, you know? Shit, you like my work, you like my work. I'm not going to stop you from reading it. But sometimes people have given me a negative review, and I cursed them. I found them, I cursed them out. I let them know how I felt. They wanted to let me know how they felt. I let them know how I felt. Damn, this got hot quick. Crossing damn street, man. Alright. The only positive way, the only healthy way I should say, positive and healthy aren't the same thing. Positive and healthy are polar opposites. You gotta be positive when things are shitty. Have a great day. Yeah, you gotta be positive when things are shitty. You know, when everything's fucking terrible, when everything sucks ass, that's when you have to be positive. You gotta be healthy consistently, you know? Negativity is only when everything is pretty great, or at least average, and you gotta kind of talk shit about what you're going through, or talk shit about what someone else is going through. That's just being negative. When things aren't as bad as they seem, and you're trying to make it horrible, that's a negative mindset. When things aren't as good as they seem and you're trying to make them better, that's positivity. I want you to be healthy. I want you to have a healthy relationship with the readers. I don't want you to isolate yourself. I don't want anybody putting you on a forum or telling all their friends to give you 1-star reviews. None of that. Engage with all of it the same. Engage with all the feedback you get privately, first and foremost. Don't bring attention to it. You don't got to tell your social media followers. You know, deal with all your feedback privately at first. Give yourself time to honestly listen to the critique that you're being given and to improve. You know, don't just get this negative feedback and you're cursing the person out. You're angry at them. You're so mad that they had something to say about you, but you're not going to address what they said. You're not going to address the truth in what they said, and you're not going to improve anything. That's not good, you know? I guess I would say, on the other hand, what do I want to take? On the other hand, you know, don't just get, oh, the soccer game was cool. I had my soccer as a teacher. Don't just get positive feedback and, you know, it's positive feedback that you can't do anything with. It's positive feedback that you can't improve from. It's positive feedback that completely ignores issues and errors that you know are there, but you're not sure to the degree of where it's there. The one thing I would say about the person is that they gave me a 2-star review. They didn't give me a 1-star review for that. Because, you know, at the time that I published the book during Christmas, I think on the day of Christmas actually, people were poor. People didn't really have anything. People were struggling. The pandemic had just onset. A lot of people have gotten evicted. And I was in my millennial millions phase trying to get rich as soon as possible. And it didn't work out. And I isolated a lot of people by doing that. Trust those 4-star reviews. Trust those 3-star reviews. Learn from the 2-star, 1-star reviews. Because sometimes the 5-star reviews aren't that constructive. Jeff's was, because Jeff is a professional editor, and this is what I asked him to do. And it's a great book. For the Crown of Nadia is an amazing book. But, you know, dealing with feedback is very tough because some people just hype your head up in order to get your business. I'm not saying that's what he did at all, because honestly, after he read my book, he left Facebook, because it's like some of the best books you're ever going to read aren't that popular. They're from unknown authors, and those authors don't have the resources to hire editors, to hire graphic designers. And you think just because this book is popular, just because this book has a great cover, just because this author has been advertising, you know, the author might believe in the book. The author might believe in the book more than anything. But if the readers don't believe in the book, what are you gonna do? You know? Alright. I think this is the longest review of book reviews I've done so far. And I am sweaty, my friend. That was a long walk. I'm not done yet. But thank you for coming with me with my exercise and my morning walk. It was nice chopping it up with you. I'm very grateful for you to listen this long. I'm grateful that you find this entertaining or interesting, and hopefully you learned something today. I got more walking to do. God bless. Peace out.